Talking about the decade without a name. This is a review for CNN's The 2000s. Yes, we can. So last night's episode covered the 2008 presidential election and the rise of Barack Obama. Let's set the stage. It's 2007, and everyone's gotten sick and tired of Junior minting his shit. George W. Bush has annoyed the entire country with his unrelenting stupidity. People are fed up with him because he fucked everything up. And by extension, they are fed up with the Republicans, who did nothing but enable him to fuck everything up. So, it looks like the next president's going to be a Democrat. Hands down, they can't lose. So the Democrats, some of them, said, hey, seeing how we can't lose this election, why don't we change things up for a bit for once in a while? Nominate a type of person who's never been nominated. So far, all we've had for presidents is nothing but a bunch of white men. How about a woman? How about an African American? I think you know where I'm going with this. So some of the Democrats decided they were going to go with a woman, and they went with Hillary Clinton, former First Lady, and at that time a senator from New York. Now the side that said, hey, let's go with an African American, nominated who? Barack Hussein Obama, of course, who at the time had just started serving as his first term as a senator. Before that, he was known as nothing more than the guy who gave a fancy speech at the 2004 presidential election. And that's what the episode was focusing on in the beginning. Hillary and Barack. And they mentioned John Edwards, because I guess he was, up there with them. The one I did have a problem with that. Like I know how the story's going to end, so I see why they're focusing on Barack Obama right at the beginning. And, not some of the other Democrats, except for Hillary, because that was his biggest rival. But, I mean, how come they didn't mention anyone like Gravel, that crazy coot from Alaska? That guy was fucking funny as shit. They could have given him a second or two. Or, Kucinich. Like I said, any Democrat would have done in 2008. We could have had ourselves our first leprechaun president. So like I said, they start out with Hillary and Barack and John Edwards and, them battling it out in the primaries and the caucuses. They didn't mention the Republicans side either, because at that time you didn't have a sitting president, George W. Bush, thanks to term limits, was not going to be the president of the United States again. Thanks God for term limits. And Cheney, the vice president, said, I'm not going to run. So you didn't have a sitting vice president either. It was an open field for any Republican to run for it. And we had some creative characters on that side. You had Mitt Romney, and how everyone was afraid of him because he was a Mormon, which I just thought was ridiculous. Who the hell is afraid of Mormons? I mean, what exactly are you afraid of? That they're going to outlaw Coca-Cola or legalize polygamy? Who the hell wants more wives? More wives just means more mothers-in-laws. But for some reason, people are afraid of Mormons. And, of course, we had my man, Tommy Thompson. Yeah, the governor of Wisconsin. They didn't mention Tom Thompson at all. The Tom Man. I was kind of disappointed in that. Anyway, like I said, they go through the entire primary caucus debacle with the Democrats. How both sides were trying to use identity politics and how it backfired on both of them. You had the side that said if you didn't vote for Hillary Clinton, you were a sexist. Of course, if you didn't vote for Barack Obama, you were a racist. It was kind of fun to see the Democrats tear themselves apart over their fucking idiotic identity politics. So anyway, we finally get to the actual caucus season. Barack Obama wins in Iowa. Hillary Clinton cries and wins New Hampshire. And it goes on back and forth. One thing that they failed to mention was that there had been some states that year that had gone before Iowa, which is, Iowa is usually the first ones to put out their caucus. And then it's followed by New Hampshire with the first primaries. There are some states that said, we're sick and tired of that. We're going to go first. And they had their own little caucus or primary. I think Hillary won both of them. But then the Democrats said, oh, no, you broke the rules. Iowa was supposed to go first. That's how it's always supposed to be. So we're not going to count your votes. And this kind of played into that back and forth between Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. This didn't get mentioned in the last night's episode at all. I thought it was something important. Something that would have been interesting, but they didn't cover it. Like I said, so you've got the pissing contest between Hilldog and Barry going back and forth. And Barack Obama, of course, wins that. He moves on to the general election where he's facing John McCain. former POW, and the maverick senator. Of course, most people looked at it as, this new hip guy versus this old fart. So McCain, he's got to do something to get people, energized in the Republicans. He nominates Sarah Palin from Alaska. And that was the country's introduction to her. Oh, God. Basically, George W. Bush with a nice set of tits. That's how you can describe Sarah Palin. And they brought out some of the classes like, well, I can see Alaska from my house, and I don't read newspapers, and how's that hopey changey thing working for you? Oh, God, that woman. I tell you, I would say that she's too dumb to walk and chew bubblegum at the same time, but I'm pretty sure she can't chew bubblegum even if she was just sitting down being still. I'm pretty sure she would choke to death on bubblegum if she tried to chew it. And I guess we all know who won. Barack Obama, of course. And that's pretty much what they covered. Of course, they had the classic struggle that Obama had to go through with people saying that he was born in a foreign country. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. Hawaii is part of the United States. I can't believe people didn't realize that. And, of course, Jeremiah Wright. Remember that crazy fuck? Woo! Yeah, so Barack wins, and then they go into a year into his presidency, and they talk about the rise of the Tea Party, which I thought is something they need to save for next year when they do the 2010s. But all around, it was a pretty interesting episode, just reliving that 2008 presidential election. Woo, that was some crazy times. And that's really all I had to say about this episode.